Hello. Hey, thank you so much for showing up. I'm still not quite used to the sweet mic, but my name is Chad Oxted, and for people that were on the last webinar, some of this pre stuff is going to sound a little bit familiar because I have to warm up to the new people that haven't been here yet. So if you haven't if you haven't watched it, the very first one, definitely go back because there's some foundational stuff. You don't have to do it right now. Just wait until we're done, and then actually, if you I'll give you the link to my Facebook. Just ask me, be like, hey, how can I get access to the first webinar? Because I find that being able to see that is going to be very, very valuable to you because we have to find who your target market is. Oh, ha! That's going to be ha. All right, there we go. Turn that all off. Doesn't that seem to happen on every hangout to every marketer? I feel like that's just the thing that has to happen. But all right, well, we're here, and let's get started. I'm super excited. Okay, so this one's all about traffic and converting that traffic into leads. And then what we'll do is we'll go a little bit into converting into sales, especially on the next one, because there's definitely a big difference. But like I said, if you're not getting your target market, if you're not getting that exact person that you're targeting, the person that's going to be really interested in joining you, then you're going to have a challenge, right? Getting lead conversion and then eventually a sales conversion. Sometimes people will put their email in or put a fake email in just because they're curious if the message doesn't match. And we'll talk about that later on into this. But so let's get going. So who exactly is this for? This might look a little familiar to you. So this is for information marketers, affiliate marketers, coaches, speakers, people that sell products online or offline that want a systematic approach with a stress-free sales process to convert sales in a predictable and consistent fashion every day on demand. Even if you haven't made, I edited this. I don't know why this didn't stick, but no worries. Just in case you're not a huge guru, basically what it's coming down to. On this training, you will discover how a simple process that helped me make $16,000, 407.35 in 20 days. How I did it without doing anything I hated. Position strategies. Yeah, no, I definitely went through this. Anyways, position strategies that help you. Basically, we're going to teach you on this one how to attract. We already taught you kind of how to attract the traffic, but now we're going to talk about different specific ways to get traffic that actually is going to be sustained for you, that's going to keep going. Right, we're going to teach 3 types of traffic. Now traffic, where you're going to be able to turn that right into money right now. You're going to teach you how to do traffic that is going to be residual, traffic that's going to be flowing into you regardless what you're doing, sleeping. And then you got paid traffic, which is scalable traffic, where you can just kind of, as soon as you find a campaign that really works for you, you can just push the gas and just max out the returns, right? So you're going to want to stick around to the end because every piece of this training is just as valuable as the first one, if not more. I've had people tell me my very first training of this series was worth upwards of thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So you're definitely going to want to stick around to the end. I could sell this 3-part series for over $1,000 easy, right? So do you struggle making your paid advertising profitable? Do you hate being having to be a one-on-one salesperson on every single sale? Do you have to do a presentation? Do you have to? Is your sales process just not automated? Are you just sick of having to do a high pressure sales and get people to buy things that maybe they don't necessarily want just to make $1? This This is interesting. I'm wondering why this didn't get edited. I just went through and edited all this. Let me see if I can save this and see if it can. Oh, well, that's what's going on. Excuse me. I apologize. 1 second. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to actually fast forward to 37. Apologize. This is actually the first part of the trick. Boom, boom, boom. So this is actually, we're speeding up. This is actually the first part. If you missed it, this is the highlights. So this was the very first one. Okay, yes, I did edit this. All right, good. Discover, stick around to the end. Can you relate? All right, here we go. Back to thing. All right, so would you like more people to engage on your videos and blog posts and social media? Have you had some success, but you're yearning to reach more people and have a bigger impact on your message, right? Are you stuck selling to people that don't respect your time or think that they deserve something from you? Do you feel that you're stuck at a certain income level and you can't seem to move forward? Do you have no leverage in your sales system? Are you an entrepreneur, but you've just created another stressful job? That's a funny picture. I like it. All right. The good news is that these are all symptoms of a larger problem that we are going to solve once for all in this training, and that you don't have a systematic traffic or lead system that you can get predictively and consistently convert sales every day on demand for you, even if you haven't made your money yet. So if you did, you could have 5-figure days, 6-figure month, and finally start earning what you are worth. You could work less because you're earning on complete autopilot. You can start working with your ideal customer, do your best, most authentic work because your new system gives you the most dedicated, gives you space to dedicate more to actually work with people that you actually care about, right? Actually work with the people that you want to work with, because that's what we're going to teach you here, is how to attract those people, convert them from traffic into leads, into sales. And that's really what this is all about, right? Does this all sound like a stretch? Does this seem like a pocket of baloney to you, right? I used to think so too until it happened to me. I spent years selling door-to-door cable packages. I used to think that time freedom was just for when I retired and got old, or I was managing several sales organizations, having to travel from state to state to visit them. Then in 2013, I found a company that taught me that I didn't have to grind all day to make a 6-figure income, and that I could create pipeline income. But I didn't have huge success right away. It took me 6 months to completely replace my sales job income. But the real breakthrough came when I sold my car to purchase a high-ticket product that changed my life forever. So then after that, I mean, my real breakthrough came through when I started investing into mentorship. I actually found somebody that I wanted to work with, and I've done this a couple of times. I've actually spent I spent $5,000 to go to a mastermind almost a year ago now. That was quite breakthrough. This guy, and continuing working with him for $25,000. And that was a year ago. Went to that mastermind, had some huge breakthroughs. This guy made $200 million online selling information products. So I took a little bit of that. I've also spent over $10,000 buying different information online and basically marketing. Exactly what I'm teaching you right here. But now, this most recently, I just spent $5,000 on a workshop and then $25,000 on a coaching package for the year to work with a guy that has done hundreds of millions of dollars online. And I'm not doing this to brag or anything. I'm just saying that what I say is valuable because I've invested the money into the training to take myself to the next level, and I can do the same thing for you. So basically, I've refined down what I've spent almost $60,000 in training and coaching and mentorship and different things into this course. I've grinded it down. I put it into a 3-part course. We're on the 2nd part right now, and we're going to move forward. So can you make $16,000 in 1 month on demand like I did? Yes, you can. Obviously, income disclosure, we're not guaranteeing any money, and I definitely did have to work for that, and I had to invest in myself to become the person, the marketer. But I can help you not have to spend that kind of money on your education to get started, right? So can you be happier, more stress-free, and $10,000 more fulfilled with your work? Yes, you can. Right. So if you don't know already, 10 years ago, I got turned on to network marketing. I called thousands and thousands of leads, all from home, from my office, while basically not making any money. I actually was selling air purifiers, sending air purifiers to these people's houses, having them test the air purifier out, and then selling them a 3,000 package where I made about $260 when I sold a $3,000 package. Not good profit. Glad we've come a long way from there. For 2 years straight, I did that. Made very little money, probably about couple $1,000. Then I found myself knocking doors, door to door, and I started finally having success on doing that. Made $10,000 a month for a few months straight, but I was grinding so hard I would burn out. It was terrible. What I thought was really good money, but it just couldn't keep going. And so then I quit my job. I lived off of all of them because I was working so much. I wasn't spending my money, and so I had all this money kind of in the bank, and I just lived off of, took unemployment and lived off my savings, and became really depressed. Got really addicted to video games. If you've ever heard of World of Warcraft, it's very, 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 very addictive. Do not play it. It becomes like a job in its own right, where I just sat at home and I had specific times that I had to be there, and then I became a raid leader, which became even crazier, and I was in a really top-end raiding guild, which, if you know anything about, it can be very stressful because if you make one mistake, they yell at you, or you yell at them if you become the leader. And then one day, I pulled myself out of that deep hole. I actually got counseling. I returned to door, but not as a career path, just to get some money together because I blew through all my money, my savings, and I started knocking doors while at night searching for an online business that could give me what I really wanted, which was freedom, be able to travel, be able to actually invest in myself. One of my things that I've always wanted to do is just make a ton of money online so then I could invest into personal development, invest into taking myself personally to another level. And then in 2013, I finally found the company that I started working with. Again, I didn't really start having big autopilot success until a certain system launched in about August or so. But it was really exciting because in August I had my first $4,150 day. I leveraged that into an $8,000 month and then kept on that momentum going. That should say momentum, not moment. Oh well. Into $12,000 month and having over 40 signups into my business. And I've made over $100,000 in my online business. I'm going to 3x that this year. Excuse me, and I'm going to 10x that next year, so I'm pretty excited about that. But I can remember when my business sucked. My first 3 events, at some point in time I found myself either sleeping in the lobby or bunking with 5+ people in a room. We would actually, excuse me, we would actually go and we would get we'd get cots. The one night we had 2 beds. We had 2 people in each bed. We had 3 people on the floor. Luckily, to the one event, I drove to that event, so I actually got a bed instead of having to sleep on the floor because I was driving everybody to the event. While my first 6 months of my business, I was actually selling watches at a flea market. It seemed to be pretty bottom floor, but I kind of pulled myself out of it. So what is a list, and how do you get one ASAP? Because they say there's money in the list, but it's not just money in the list, it's money in the responsive list. So this is your list. This is a list of emails, names, addresses, all this information, right? Then you have, this is my GetResponse account. You can see 3,000 plus subscribers. I just kind of started that one up. So this is a different list over here. And then the old school list, the little black book. You have phone numbers, addresses, and all that kind of information in the little book. So if you had to call everybody on your list, it would, let's face it, it sucks, because I did this. Not that I was building a list, I was buying leads. I buy I think it was, 300 leads a week, paying $1.50 a lead, and then so I would call these leads, and then I would interview them. And these days, people just don't answer their phone. It just really comes down to it. So how do you make it better? How do you have an automated system instead of instead of calling everybody, right? What can you do to actually automate the system? So how do I automate my process? I have an autoresponder, right? And the autoresponder that I use is GetResponse, but there is Aweber, very similar price. I like GetResponse, much easier to use, I think. And then there's MailChimp, which is actually free, so you can actually get a MailChimp account for free up to a certain amount of subscribers, right? So if you are interested in this is obviously not a sales pitch. I just want to give you a chance to get your own GetResponse account if you want it. That's the one that I have an affiliate account with. The other one, just Google Aweber, or if you're going to get an autoresponder, GetResponse. If you want a free one just for your business, go ahead and get a MailChimp. Just Google MailChimp, and then. But if you're wanting to really take your business seriously, create automation, and there's a lot of different things that it creates that you can't do with MailChimp. So if you want to grab that, go ahead and go to that website right there. So, ever heard that the fortune is in the follow-up, right? Well, autoresponders actually do the following up for you. They can send pre-written emails with links to your sales presentation. You can send emails at times that you are not near your computer, so you can actually set it up. You can actually set up follow-up sequences that, if you think about it, if as soon as you put your email into a capture page, which we'll get into capture pages in a bit here, you'll actually get a series of emails that go out, and they say specific things that in specific order, and they get you to do specific things. They give you value, or they do sales for you that so you don't have to be at your computer sending individual emails to every person that opts into your capture page. And I'll go back into, like I said, I'll go back into capture pages here in a bit. So how do you get leads into your autoresponder? A capture page is a website that offers you something of value for your information. Most of the time, it's at least your email, but could be your phone number, your name, and even your home address. The best converting capture pages are very to the point offers and offer something of extremely value, and they ask for like limited information. So this is a capture page that I've used very successfully for a while. So think about it. Free. Discover this secret online business system that allows you to generate up to 1,596 and 87. I never know how to read that. 1,500. Anyways, 1,596.87. Like, how do I read that? Anyways, so you don't have to be a genius to do this internet stuff, right? So then it does some specific things. I live near Southgate, Michigan, so it actually does what's called geo-targeting, so it'll actually pick up where I am and we'll pull that in. So then Hurry expires May 21st. Oh man, we actually hadn't expired. We can't get into on that deal. But what it does is it actually picks up the date and then works with your computer's time. So that's really cool, right? So there's a lot of high-tech stuff that you can do with certain capture pages. So notice that the offer is direct and makes a big claim and only asks for an email. Almost half of the people that see this page put their email in. Again, that goes back to your targeted buyers or leads, right? Your targeted traffic. Your offer must be congruent with the person they are, or they're not going to put their email in. So going back to the first one, right, they have to be the person that, so this message is congruent for somebody that wants an online business or wants to make money online. But there is slightly of a difference. People that look for an online business might be somebody different than looking for an online job, right? So this is a little bit more targeted because it actually talks to somebody that looks for a business instead of a job, right? So it does trigger a little bit, right? So it gets the right person into your capture page or into your funnel. Water, yes, that's what I need. All right, what is congruency? I talked about congruency. Would I send somebody that wants to buy a cell phone to a business opportunity page? So see this ad on Facebook, and so if you click on this link, I'm guessing it's going to go to somewhere selling them this battery pack thing, right? And so it's not going to go to a make money online or a business opportunity page because that would not be congruent. The match of the ad is not matching the offer. I know that makes sense, but we can get even more down to specifics, and I'm going to get into like more advanced stuff for the more advanced marketers that are on here. So don't worry. I know this is all like pretty simple stuff, but then why would you send a business opportunity making one claim to a capture page that makes a different one? Okay, so that's basically the same idea. Okay, so think about this. So this is an ad that could be, ooh, look at it's blinking. That's kind of cool. So anyway, so I make $260 every day, work from home, and make, I don't really like this saying, but you get the idea that so this is a capture page I actually made really quick to kind of match this ad. I found this just randomly on Google. You want the ad to match the capture page. So it's you can see how cool that is. It's actually able to pick up. So it's going to match. The color scheme's the same. The offer is the exact same. Even look at this. We'll see how would even be better. So see how would be a better one right there. But this is actually a match in the congruency. So what happens is, and I might talk about this. So okay, when you miss congruency, you actually do a reset in your mind, and this is for more advanced marketers here, right? So if you go to a page that is not what they offered on the ad before, they're going to do a mental reset. So think about it. If you're coming through, you click on the ad, and then you go, okay, sweet, this is the exact thing that I looked at, right? So we'll go back to this page real quick. So this is the exact same offer that this made. So it's not going to scare anybody off. It's just going to be a real easy flow, right? It's going to flow right through, and it's not going to. So what's going to happen is a higher percentage of people are going to decide to put their email in to this page because the message and the color scheme and everything is a match. The only thing that could make it even more of a match if I took her picture and put her in the back here, right, to make it just go flow as easy as possible. You want to make this process, you are wanting to weed out some people that don't match with this message, but most of the people that are going to click on this are going to put their email in this, or not most, but a high amount. If they're really serious about making $260 online every day, then they're going to put their email in this. So this is going to keep out about 50%. I would say this is probably going to convert 50%, because if you're going to click on this, why would you not, just give up your email? At least you're going to give up one email, So the more congruent, the better that it's going to you're going to convert it. So that's important. So this is what's kind of a value-based lead magnet or capture page. You have what's called so this is actually giving something away. You can actually download a free gift edition of his book, and of Tony Robbins' book, right? And then you give him an email, your name, first name, last name, and email, right, for that information. So that's pretty cool, right? Because that's going to guarantee you're going to get the right email. Because if they're going to email that information to you, that's going to guarantee they're not going to put some sort of fake email in there, right? So the other cool thing is this is kind of coming from a value stance instead of, like, if you look at this capture page, it's kind of what it's going to do is it's going to create, you're going to get different type of people looking at this ad. You're going to be like, okay, this is kind of flashy. Maybe I want to make some money online. This is probably, I wouldn't use this ad at all, because this is kind of almost going down the work from home job way, right? But you might get some good people out of it, who knows, but this isn't really my message, right, that I would use. So, but I do like this, right, because you're going to get some people in that maybe wouldn't necessarily look at the business opportunity. Maybe they're just looking at you as a value. Like this whole webinar is a giant lead magnet. And I'm giving you over and above the amount of information, or the value for an email, right? I'm giving you so much value that at the end, when I do make an offer, like not at the end of this webinar, there's nothing to buy here, right? Unless you want to buy the get response from me or whatever. That's really like a tiny, tiny, tiny portion of money there. But anyway, so this is exchanging something of value for information, right? So I principally use lead pages, and I was actually going to get you the link to my lead pages, but I actually forgot to do that. My bad. But so if you're wanting to get lead pages, I'm going to give you my Facebook at the end of this, or a lot of you guys are hooked up with me on Facebook. Just be like, hey, I want to get lead pages. I want to be, and this whole thing that you're on right now, this page that you're made, is all done with lead pages. The page that you put your email into is all done with lead pages. It can pretty much create whole funnels. The only thing it can't do is create like membership sites and then some other stuff. But then you got this MITS. This is actually, you can get this for free, and you can Google it. Or not free, it's $1 to get set up. And this is a guy, he's a marketer, his name's Vince Reed. He uses this as a buyer lead magnet, right? And so and the cool thing is, so you can use the capture pages for free, but he puts the ads on the top of them. So basically, if you're sharing your capture page, it's going to have his ad on it, which I wouldn't use. I would upgrade to the paid one, which the paid one's actually, I've never personally used it, but I just wanted to give you guys something that would be free if you wanted to check it out or whatever, because it's pretty much free. So how to increase your opt-ins, right? The best way to increase your opt-ins is what's called split testing. Okay, so this is where my engineer nerd friends, excuse me. So my really detail-oriented friends they're going to be like, yes, this is the stuff that I want to hear. But I have to give you a warning. If you're a blue, if you're a red, if you're whoever, if you're watching this, and if you haven't seen my first webinar, this was talking about the different personality types, right? This gets down to where marketing becomes a numbers game, and you have to be a little bit more detailed oriented. I'm not naturally detail oriented. I'm not normally the person that looks at numbers and how things do different ways. But the cool thing is with lead pages, it kind of does. You can do split testing very easily, and you can do things. I'll kind of show you how to do that. So split testing is when you run traffic to two different pages to see which one converts better. And to make internet marketing work, you have to test and track your numbers. For the longest time, I didn't track anything. I didn't do that. Ooh, there's something else that I can kind of show you guys. I should have added it in this. We'll get into that in a second. Okay. So what type of things to test? Okay. So this is the capture page that you guys put your email into. And so what I could do is I could test different different titles. I could change this title I could just change it like just a couple words. I could change this right here. I could change the colors. I could change and probably actually you seen a different picture if you opted in recently. This button color you could change. You could change the color of this type. You could this arrow that was moving on here, which I think is really freaking cool. That actually ups my. I could change that to be a red arrow or whatever. I could change this down here. I could change. There's a bunch of stuff down here. One little thing could increase your opt-in. 2, 3, 5, 10%. I've seen. So you just want to keep on tweaking it and getting better and better and better opt-in rate, because when you become a marketer, you become a scientist. And so what you want to do is you only want to test one variable at a time. So you would do this. You would say, okay, I'm going to test this right here and put it out there, throw some traffic at it, and then I'm going to duplicate this page, which you can do really easy with lead pages, and it will then you just change this right here. I'm just going to change this wording, and then I'm going to create another one. I'm going to create a third one. And so that one is going to be then I'm going to keep this the same as the first one, but then I'm going to change this right here. Then I'm going to maybe create another one, and you could do 4, 3, however many tests you want to do to see which one's going to be the best. Cool. Test color of the copy, test the color of the buttons, all that stuff. Okay, so this gives you an idea. This is actually, and this is kind of blurry, but this is a different capture page that I use. Or this is the capture page you just looked at. At the time, there's only 75 people that went to that page. 36 of them decided to put their email in to 48% opt-in rate. This one right here, which is essentially the same one but for a different one, but I threw way more traffic at it. This is 569 people went there. 241 actually put their email in. That's a 42% opt-in. So I would recommend throwing at least 100 people at a capture page before you get an idea that it's not converting well or whatever, so you can at least get a good idea of how it's going to. But you can look at it. So if 50 people went to your page and only like 2 people opted in, that's terrible. Get rid of that shit like ASAP, right? You know, so so that gives you an idea how to kind of do some split testing. So you just want to keep on making it better. So you tweak, throw more traffic at it, then you know, change something. We can go back to kind of so that kind of goes back. So you would so basically you would maybe set up 3, and then whichever one's the best or the whichever is the worst one, you get rid of that one, and then you add a new variable. You change a new variable. And you'd be like, okay, well, the free webinar, if that's not working, you know, or I'm going to change this right here to a different color. I'm going to change that to green. I'm going to test that. Then you throw some traffic at it, and you're like, okay, well, that's converting. That one's actually doing the best. So you take the lowest one, you get rid of that, and then you add another one, and you just keep on tweaking like that. And that's how you get a good campaign. That's how you scale. So. Awesome stuff, hopefully. So what is website traffic? Website traffic is visitors that come to your website. Very sometimes we get jaded on you know, I feel like this is all easy stuff, but a lot of people don't know this stuff, so I gotta kind of walk through the basics, right? Traffic is not the answer. Targeted traffic that converts is the answer. Your opt-in and follow-up is more important than the traffic, right? All right, the triangle. This is, you know, I think I think Chris actually made this look better, but this is the most funky looking thing. But it's gonna, hopefully, this is gonna be a breakthrough for you. So I have 3 types of traffic in my business. I have free, and I put it in quotes because there's no such thing as free traffic, and we'll get to that. We have free active traffic. You have free passive traffic, and then you have free, then you have paid traffic, right? And this is your website, and it's all coming back to your website. And you want all 3 of them, especially when you get started, right? You want to get started. You want all 3, especially at a point in time. You can kind of get rid of, you can phase this out of your business, where everything can be passive, which paid traffic is kind of passive, right? So there's no such thing as free traffic. Like I said, you are either paying for traffic with money, or you're paying for traffic with your time. Which is more valuable to you, right? I recommend when you get started, you have paid and free, or free and paid traffic. Free active and free passive traffic. When you first get started in a business, if you're limited on funds, you might have to hustle a little bit. And this kind of goes down to even offline businesses, even like other kind of businesses that are, that aren't internet businesses, right? That aren't your work from home type businesses. You're gonna have to hustle. You're gonna have to put in some elbow work to kind of get things going. So Facebook's a great place to get to find your targeted buyers. Use the search tool to find groups where they hang out. Excuse me. So so we actually had did the whole first webinar on who your targeted buyer is. So I went through and talked about, who exactly my target buyer is. They're salespeople, they're internet marketers, they're mostly guys in between. They're 23 and 43 or so. They are not, they haven't quite, they've maybe made a little bit of money online, or maybe they're just getting ready to get started, and they are they hang out in certain space. So if they're a sales guy, I could go to a salesperson group and then I could connect with them. I could connect with them and find out what they do, get a good idea of how I could help them get to their goals, right? Because my business might not be the solution for them. It might not be the solution for them. Maybe their mindset isn't right for a home-based business. Excuse me. Maybe they don't really have the time, even though that's kind of a lie, right? We have like a ridiculous amount of hours in a week. It's really about how you spend it, or how you schedule your time. So you join groups and you build relationships with the members of your target the people that want to buy your stuff. And so here you go. If you're in another type of business, like if you're in, like, let's say, an offline business, and you want to find your so maybe you're not really in your business, right? You're not the branded person, right? So you say you have a bakery, or you have a here's an example. Like I was helping my friend market a solar business. So you want to figure out people that are already maybe fans of what you're selling, of your competitors, right? And so maybe you could go to their fan page. So give an example with solar. Maybe you're I was helping him market a business, and the competition was a company called Solar City. Solar City is owned by Elon Musk, the same dude that owns Tesla, and all of that, right? And so what we do to find our target market, because you think you're marketing to everybody, but you're not, right? And if you go and find out who is the person engaging on their fan page, who's the person that's actually so if you find the person or the company that's your competition that has a similar market base, you go find them and connect with their people, right? Because they're most likely going to buy from you too, right? So that's a huge value right there. So what you want to do is connect with them, build relationships. I recommend to build 20 relationships a day, and then find out a problem they have, and then find something that's going to solve it. Because when you can find, and especially if it's something that you've created, this series right now is my value piece. It's what I'm giving you to build that relationship with you. So then when I do have something to offer you to buy, that you're just going to be like, yeah, he's just giving me so much value. I want to join this business. I want to buy this product. I want to get started with Chad because he's just given me so much. He's just seriously given me so much value that I'm just ready to buy whatever. I don't care what he's selling. I'm just gonna go buy it but it's gonna be something of value for you because you are my target market. You and beyond here watching this, right? So moving on. So yeah, send them, hey, if it's a home-based business one, and if you want to give them something of value, give them this hangout. You don't want to connect with somebody, there's nothing to buy here. There's nothing there's nothing for them to buy. It's not like I'm not recruiting them right now into my business, and so send them a hangout. It's a safe place, right? So video marketing, right? One of my main traffic sources is ranking YouTube videos on YouTube and Google. Think of the power to be in the front of millions of people Googling every day. The trick is to use a keyword people are searching for and an intriguing statement or question to grab people's attention. So some of you guys might know I'm a part of a system. I ranked this keyword, and now it's on the very first page of Google. And so there's 33,000 people, or articles, or different videos, all on that same keyword. I'm able to get the first and second of different, and I think I'm actually the third, but that one, You know, I don't know why that's still showing up. No, no, that's not mine. Excuse me. I would never use scam in my my thing, even if it's not. Even if I say no, it's not. And that person's stupid because they're just attracting people that are looking for scammy stuff, right? You know, when you use that type of wording in your thing, I learned this the hard way. I ranked a video. I still have a few videos that have that, and actually, Chris, you're watching this. Put that on the to-do list to go back and change the title of a few videos. But so anyway, so I passed Millionaire. Does it really work? Question mark. Right. So that is gonna grab somebody's attention. That's gonna, and this is actually a longer video. Usually, longer videos are not that great. But you know, this gives me tons of leads and tons of sales every day. So this is huge, and I teach my inner circle Black Card members this how to do this. So it's awesome. Paid traffic, right? So paid traffic is one of the easiest routes to get money, to get leads and get traffic into your business, because. And remember, notice I didn't say sales, right? Because the sales part is about having the right follow-up, having the right conversion metrics in your funnel. And I probably should have put, I think I put something in on about a funnel in here, hopefully. Or maybe I talked about it in the last one. But basically, if you can picture a funnel coming in, and the capture page is the top of the funnel, and then a certain amount of people drop off from that, and then they put their email in, then they watch what I call like a bridge page. It's going to be you talking about you and your passions and your you know, your story, and showing maybe some proof that you have in your business. So you can use that. Then it's going to go to a sales video. And that sales video is going to be something that's converting for other marketers, right? Something that's going to convert for other marketers that are, it's promoting your same business. So if you think about it, if some companies, they just have terrible sales presentations, and what you can do if you want, what I do is I teach my inner circle members this exact same sales process, because if you haven't noticed, I'm adhering to a specific session, a series, right? A certain, like, there's certain things I'm saying at a certain time. There's certain things. This whole presentation, it's not by fluke. It's actually was given to me by my $25,000 mentor, right? And I probably shouldn't share it. So if he's on here, I'm not giving it away to my Black Card members. But I can recreate training that kind of shows the idea of it, right? So what is the challenge that? Yeah, so is converting into that. So what you need to do is, it kind of, if you go back to the very beginning of this, I talked about finding that target market and then branding yourself on the front end before you even offer them anything to buy, right? The more that they get to know you and like you, the more chance they're going to buy from you. Right? They're gonna just whip out their card and they're going to buy anything you want because they like you, they trust you, they feel like they really know you, right? And so you want to put that in between your capture page and wherever the sales video is. And now if your sales video sucks for your company, you need to create something that converts, right? And so a lot of people think their sales video for their company works, but if you think about it, if people aren't able to run traffic to it and it can convert into sales without having to get on a phone or do any of that stuff, then it's not converting, right? So hopefully this is all making sense and I'm not just jumping around all willy-nilly on you guys. But so do pay traffic, you have to know what your customer value is. Okay, let's get into it. This gets into the really kind of higher end stuff, and if you're a high-end marketer, you need to know this stuff right now, right? So lifetime customer value, your lifetime customer value is how much a customer is worth to you. And man, the more that I look at this training, I feel how I realize how valuable this stuff really is, and how much I've spent to learn this stuff. So your lifetime customer value, or your your LTCV, is how much a customer is worth you for the life of the customer. You find out your LTCV by taking how much you made in your total by your company, dividing it by how many customers you have. So here's an example. Say you have 100 customers and you have earned $100,000. Your lifetime customer value would be $1,000. Does that make sense to everybody, hopefully? So basically, and it makes, because even with like duplication and everything, you can still use this, because you'll know what your duplication metrics are and what your value of that customer, your client, your teammate, whatever you want to call it. And I know, and I care for everybody in my team, and they're not just a number. You need to know these numbers so then you can acquire these teammates, these clients, these customers at a price affordable that you can actually make profit, right? Okay, customer acquisition cost. There we go. Your CAC. Your CAC. That's an awesome word. All right, your CAC is how much it costs you to acquire one customer. You have to know your LTCV so you can figure out how much you can spend to acquire your customer, or your CAC. So if your LTCV is $1,000, you can now know how much you can spend to acquire a customer. So you think about it. If your LTCV is $1,000, you've made $100,000 a total, right? You can now say, all right, well, what do I want my profit margin to be? Right? Do I want my profit margin to be, obviously we want our profit margin as big as possible. So you want to spend as little amount of money on acquiring your customer as you possibly can. Okay, so if you, but now you know, okay, I can test different traffic sources, I can feel this out, I can say, okay, it's cost me, to acquire a customer in YouTube, right? Because YouTube traffic is free. I'm using, but it's not really, because you do have to spend a little bit of money to get some backlinks and some different stuff to help your channel a little bit work a little bit better, and maybe you're paying somebody to make your channel. So there's some costs, right? But say your acquisition cost is really cheap on YouTube, which mine is. It has to be like $1 or $2, right? Because I spend like $15 a video. If you look at how many signups I've had for my videos for my business, it's 30, 50, 100, who knows? And if my this isn't my LTCV, I wish this is what we're working on, is $1,000 a customer. At least that would be freaking amazing. And we could get there. It's doable. And this type of stuff, adding the value before the sale, is what helps your LTCV get up there, because they've already know you, they already trust you, they already know the deal, they already know that when they decide to get in, they need to treat this like a real business. You're targeting your real client, which is gonna do whatever it takes, that knows that they need a budget to get started, they know that they're gonna have to do some work, they know that they're gonna have to do this or that, right? So they're already ready to go. After you get off these three webinars, you're gonna know exactly what you need to do to have massive success in the business that I do, right? And hopefully you'll be able to take this and exchange it to whatever business you do. But if you want to decide to join me after that, you're going to know exactly what to do. You're going to know the exact deal. You're going to need to know. You're going to know exactly what your budget needs to be. You know everything, right? So, so as you tweak your campaigns and residuals kick in and reorders, if you're in a reorder type business, right, so you're going to get one of two things: residuals or reorders, hopefully in your business, kick in. Your LTCV can go up, but to make a profitable business, work where you're at, right? So kind of look at what your numbers are now instead of what they could be, right? Because then you can know what you can spend to acquire a customer. So different types of paid traffic. Solo ads are very popular. They normally run around 70 cents to $1.50 a click. This can be a super fast way to build your list and start giving value to these potential clients. Notice I didn't say sales, because you're going to want to give them value, and then that turns them into sales. Sometimes you'll get sales on the front end, especially if your funnel is really good and you brand and do all that stuff on the front end. But a lot of times what happens is these people on this solo ads are on like 6 other people's list, and so they are, they're getting emails from a bunch of people, and most of them are just slamming offers down their throat. They're not giving value to them, so you need to stand apart so you can give value. I sell search engine. I sell a couple different traffic in my business, mostly to my team. But if other people really want to get in, you can let me know. So we do search engine PPC. This is really targeted than solo ads. But it's not the fastest in the world, right? But I also work with broker traffic, which is kind of like solo ads, but it's a little bit better, I think, because they can kind of look at different lists and be like, okay, this is going to be really good, this is going to be really good, and kind of tailor to your offer. So that's really cool. Facebook PPC can be highly targeted, but you have to be skilled at getting the right target audience. And so I have training that you can get, that you can buy. My friend Chris, he just launched a training on Facebook PPC that's just ridiculously good, and it can really teach you. So if you're wanting to do that, connect with me, and I can get you that training. So yeah, it's very, very good stuff. So cost of click doesn't really matter, even if you have to pay $5 a click and 1 out of 100 people buy your product. If your LTCV is $1,000, you are still making $500 per sale. What does that mean? If you've been following along, right? So you're paying for traffic. Like I said, most traffic is somewhere in between 70 cents and $1.50 a click. I've seen people charge $1.50 a click, which is, I think, is crazy. But so if you have 100 visitors come to your website, say 30 of them actually put their email in, and one of them decides to buy, even if you're paying $5 a click, which would make your ad spend $500. Right, or say you're spending $1 a click, but it took way more. It took 500 people, 500 buyer or 500 people to go to your website. So that cost $500 for that sale. Okay, but if your LTCV is $1,000, you still made $500 a sale. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, post them down in the comments, and we'll get those answered at the end, definitely. The trick is having a business, product, or system that gives you a high enough LTCV, so then you can pay much higher for traffic and just dominate everyone. How much is this training worth to you? I want you to leave a comment below if you got value from this. Wow, it's exactly an hour. Right on. I like it. Share this with anyone that could get value from this. We'll be taking questions at the end. I'm going to just go over kind of some things. Actually, no. Chris, is there any questions in the comments coming in, or do you have any questions? Yeah.
I don't see any questions right now. Everybody get in there and ask one if you have anything.
Awesome. Do you have any questions?
Sorry, I muted that microphone again. Maybe you want to go over what the difference is between a solo ad and broker traffic.
Okay, so a solo ad vendor is one dude that's been building his list, and usually what he does is he'll buy traffic from other solo vendors, right, to build his list. And then what he'll do is he'll kind of send a little bit of offers, but it's one list, it's one person, and he owns that list, and it's his list. But he'll send offers, once a week, twice a week, 5 times a week, depending on how, how big it is or whatever. And so that is what a solo vendor is, right? A broker, what he does, and so he'll go to like 10 different solo vendors, maybe even 100 solo vendors, and he works with a ton of them, and he'll go, okay, this guy has this type of traffic, this guy has this type of traffic, this guy has this type of traffic, this has been a little bit more responsive to this offer, this has been more responsive for this offer. Okay, well, you have this offer, Chad, I'll send it to Pete's list because his was the most responsive with your system or your product. Or maybe, see, the other thing is some people have, they have internet marketing buyers for their list. So then something that would be really valuable to them would be like some sort of tool. It'd be some sort of like training, some sort of like thing that's going to help them with their business. But then you have business seeker leads, people that are looking for business opportunities, and that's actually a different type of list. So some offers are going to be better for one type of list, and some are going to be better with other. Did that helpful?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Does anybody else have a question?
Cool. Well, I'll just start. If you see any questions, I'm gonna click to the next page and start going over what we're gonna be learning on the next trainings. So, oh yeah, share. If you got value from this, share this training all over the place. Webinar 3, you'll learn how to generate endless flows of sales and get people to begging you to take their credit card. You'll learn how to send emails and entice your ideal client to love you and adore you while buying everything that you have. You will learn how to make sure you never run out of things to offer your clients, how to have never-ending profit pots for you. Share this webinar. And that's it. All right, I'm going to end this, and appreciate you guys, everybody, for showing up. Remember, share. The next webinar is going to be Wednesday, 9 o'clock. Be there. It's going to be epic. I'm going to come with the everything. I'm just going to there's going to be so much value. You're going to be crapping your pants in value. You're going to have to get value boots, because there's going to be you're going to be swimming in value, right? So thank you so much. Appreciate it, everybody. Talk to you later.